What difference at this point does it make?
But this is a good educational book. It gives you a lot of thoughts that you don't even read in your history books. Things you don't know. People should know these things, what's going on in this country. And one of the things they talk about is President Obama. President Obama is an anti-colonialist. He believes countries that have colonies are wicked and they should be done away with. He's saying how they exploit countries. Now, of course, they use the states of Africa, Malaysia, and India. Yeah. So in those states, those countries, they're saying England took advantage of all their products they had and they manipulated them.
Sorry, Wally.
And what did they manipulate them in? They're saying tea, they're saying cocoa, and they're saying rubber. They exploited those countries of their products. Well, they never had those products there until they became a colony by England. England brought those things into those countries to make them better countries. And they created businesses in that country where the poor could live better. Poor could make more money. The poor could get better educations. That's what they did to India. Africa didn't follow India's example of how to become a nation and how to create a better nation. Africa failed in that. And it's sad, sad, sad. We hope that in the future they'll do better. But as far as Obama's concerned, I'm very upset with him because he's tied in with the Muslims all over the world. And look what happened to the Middle East. Look what happened to the Middle East. Are we better off in the Middle East? No, we're not. We're not better off in the Middle East. You've got the Muslims taking over there also, which is bad. But let's talk a little bit about communism. People shouldn't be afraid to use the word communism. It exists, it's in this country, and we have members in Congress that are communists in this country. Socialists, Marxists, or communists, whatever you want to call them. Progressives is another term that these people like to use. Don't call me a communist because I'm a progressive. Same thing in my book. Same thing in my book. But you look at President Obama, every election he's been in and running for office, he's been endorsed by the New Party of Chicago. The New Party of Chicago is a communist organization, is a communist party. And Obama, to get on their ticket every time, he had to belong to them. Stop and think about that. Stop and think about that. It's scary knowing our president's like that. And what is he doing to this country? Are we a better country than we were 6 years ago? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But let's talk a little bit about capitalism. Capitalism is something that people learn how to get wealth. They found that wealth by working and producing new products and everything else will make your country a better country. Before, all wealth was gained by taking it away from somebody. And that's the way the world was. And another example that we have in this country is slavery. They always say that we had slavery for 250 years in America. Well, they started counting slavery in this country since 1492 when Columbus came here. Columbus never stepped on the United States at all. He was just in some of the islands. And as far as slavery is concerned, we did away with slavery shortly after we became a nation. When I say did away with it, I don't mean after the Civil War. I mean some parts of the United States, once we became a nation, did away with it. Actually, it was in 1806 that parts of America did away with slavery completely, and they would not allow new slaves to come to this country. And no other country in the world had a civil war to stop slavery. We had a civil war, and hundreds of thousands of white Americans died to try to stop that slavery. So let's wake up and learn a little bit about history. Read this book. You'll find out a lot of things in here that make a lot of sense, such as who had slaves in this continent? The Indians had slaves. And then the Mexicans had slaves. And then the blacks had slaves. Black Americans had slaves. And they worked for the South. They went to war for the South. And they practiced slavery. They figured there was like 3,000 black slave owners in this country, which was a small percentage of the people that had slaves. But they had over 10,000 slaves. These are black people. And then when the United States was trying to stop slavery all over the world, there were people in Africa that were black Americans, black Africans, who were trying to stop America from doing away with slavery. So let's wake up, America. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that on this show, huh?
You can say it on the show, Wally. You
but
can
anyhow,
say it anywhere.
These are some of the facts you'll get out of this book. And there's a lot more that I can't mention in it because it'll take too long for me to remember all this stuff. But anyhow, it's getting 4 minutes left, and I think you probably want to wrap things up, and we'll let you go ahead.
Anything else, Wally?
Let's hang loose.
All right. Let's just real quick while we still have it going. Reg, Kimberly, this is what Wally was referring to. The Muslim Brotherhood infiltrates Obama administration and in their Sharia advisors. So these are Obama's people. I can't say the names. I don't even want to try. If it was Muhammad Ali, I could say that. I remember him from boxing, but it's not. But nonetheless, they're infiltrated all over the place, and it's just.
And for every one of those 6 guys, they're bringing 10, 15 people into the government. And that's what bothers me.
Yeah.
Because that's how we had so many communists in this country in the 30s and the 40s.
Oh, who's that guy?
Oh.
There's our friend George Soros. We didn't bring him this week, by the way. Soros the zombie. He didn't make it. Thanks, Reg. Yeah, we didn't bring him, so I gave him a break, and I wanted to clean him up, dress him up, find a new outfit for him. He was wearing a suit last week, so we'll bring him in with something more.
Well, didn't he have a new hairstyle too?
I'm working on that. We got 2 minutes left, so it's been a pleasure having JD. He will occasionally join us with certain subjects, not all subjects, but he's into a lot of subjects that affect the everyday people, and including with politics and stuff. He's very knowledgeable, so very helpful to have him. He was also involved in getting this woman to call in, which is a tremendous thank you for that, because the viewers get to learn more. And by the way, I've heard it from enough people with the videos. No more long videos. No more of this. And I have to say, Wally, because listen, I hear this stuff. I say, well, we do the best we can, but they do want to tune in. They love looking at Wally. The women just go crazy over you, Wally, is what I'm hearing.
Are the chills running up down the leg?
Everything. Chills running up down the leg, and things running the other direction, and all directions, in and out, everywhere, Wally.
All I know is, evidently, they're getting my telephone number mixed up with the weather station. Because when my wife picks up the phone, they say, "Hey, is the coast clear?" So,
well, that's what you get, Wally, for turning on all the women. So next week, I think I'm going to do some talking, some venting. I've been holding up stuff. I may try to get Sean Abel back in. He missed this month, and there's a lot of issues going on with that stuff. We are working on Thomas Drake, the NSA whistleblower. We do have a gentleman from New York that's going to come up here in person. A great story from jail to a multi-millionaire success story, and so we have a lot of cool things coming up in the near future. So anyways, we're fading out, everyone. I want to wish everyone a good night. God bless all the viewers. God bless America. And what else, guys? Hurry up, Wally. God bless Wally. All right, how about you, JD? Good night, right?
How about God bless Phil?
All right, God bless everyone. Amen. Good night, everyone.